Hi, yeah, I've got some news for you. Crafting. This is a new thing that will be in the live worlds one of these days. We're not sure when. But I also want to show you something really interesting here that appeared today in the latest upgrade. This is just a quickie. You will know that cutting and pasting has been an absolute pain. There's been this procedure that requires witchcraft in order to copy and paste. Well, today's upgrade, have a look. You can highlight it with your mouse. You can press Ctrl plus C to copy it, and you can press Ctrl plus V to paste it. Isn't that wonderful? What is crafting? Well, I just want to show you, there's quite a lot about it in the beta forum, and underneath this video I'm going to give you the links. Let's go look. This is the official announcement, and then I'll give you another link to the discussion thread, because there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot of stuff going on. Read here. We do want to be transparent about the fact that crafting is not yet 100% ready. Okay? The whole idea here was that they wanted to get the beta community, the people in beta world who act as their test group. They wanted not to give, normally they give pretty much final products to us. This time round they wanted us to be part of the development situation, and in fact this is exactly what has happened. If you go to that discussion thread, you must work your way through it if you're interested. You will see that a lot of stuff that we, the players, have suggested is coming into the system. For this reason, I can't tell you when you're going to get this in the live world, because it's still a work in progress. But if Timon and the team feel it's ready, well then it could be here next week, or maybe it'll be a month or 2 months. What is crafting? Well, you know, what it comes down to is that we have a lot of junk floating around in our cities. Crafting now is a system that allows you to use that junk and to turn it into something useful. So that's good. What it doesn't include at the moment are all of these rune shards that I have here. These rune shards are never going to get used. Never, ever, ever. Let's hope that they're listening, and let's hope that they find a way for us to get rid of them. Okay, that's what crafting doesn't do. What it does do, go to your inventory. Okay, in your inventory you have the enchantments, otherwise known as spells. That's the new one. This is the combining catalyst, and this is the spell that allows you to craft. Okay, but you've got all your other spells. You have all your instants, and you have all of your summonings, which are in fact they allow you to summon a building. Okay? Now there's a new button that you haven't seen before, Disenchant. What does that mean? It means basically you can break this building up, and you can turn it into spell fragments. So you see, we click on it. Now these are set buildings, and I don't build sets. I think sets are junk, so I really don't need them. So let us proceed with turning that into 810 spell fragments. Here's another set building. Don't want that one. We'll disenchant it. We'll make some more spell fragments, and so on and so forth. Now what we do with these fragments is, in our Magic Academy we can craft these combining enchantments just the same way as what we make all of this stuff. We can make one of those, you see. Okay, what do we do with them? Click on Disenchant. Now we go over here, we can click on crafting, and this is the crafting screen. It shows that I've got 2,160 fragments. I have 3 spells, and I can make any one that I like of these 5 recipes. You see, there's an instant, there is a magic manufacturing spell, there's a booster, another instant, there's this little building, and there is this little, we all know, the unicorn that gives us population and culture. Now these change. They do say in the notes that they haven't decided how long it's going to be till they change. there was mention of 8 hours, but that number could change. If you're impatient, then you can spend diamonds, and then you'll get another selection of other stuff. If you don't want to spend diamonds, then you wait and a new recipe will appear, in this case in 7 hours 58 minutes. It's as simple as that. Now, what is coming up here, the kind of thing that you're going to see, some of the event buildings, like the two on the right are event buildings, some of the event buildings will repeat. Those beautiful military buildings that you know, the ones that last for 5 days, that you put them down at the beginning of a tournament when you are really wanting to get a good tournament score and they boost your troops, those are no longer going to be available in the events. You craft them. They will be here. There's a building that makes Orc strategists. There's the Valorian Valor building that makes Valorian guards. And of course there's the Orc's Nest, which makes Orcs, provided of course that you are in Chapter 8. These buildings are also apparently going to become crafting only. Now that's nice, because if you've got Orc nests, well then you can get rid of an armory and you can free up some space, because an armory requires some population and culture to build it, and it requires supplies to make it run, whereas the Orc's nest requires nothing. It just sits there and makes Orcs for you. So that's a nice thing to have. And those Valorian guards, they are like tree ants, but they can hit a little bit further, and you normally get them quite late in the game, but as a beginner you can actually craft them for yourself even when you're in Chapter 2. So that's an overview of the thing. Now there's only one thing more I want to say to you. Let's look at my Magic Academy again. Now you can see mine is on level 3 at the moment, because I can make 1, 2, 3 items. I think with crafting that I have always said, this is my small city, so I haven't spent money here, but I probably am going to get some diamonds, and I probably will buy an upgrade. I've always said, when you have diamonds to spend, if you spend your diamonds on magic buildings, every time you go up a chapter you're going to have to spend more diamonds to upgrade your buildings, or else you're going to have to get blueprints. If you belong to a very good fellowship that does tournaments, then you can do it that way. Otherwise, they are a liability to you, because you have to keep shoveling money in. If you take your money and you spend it on expansions to your city, they become fiendishly expensive. If you go to the store and you buy these buildings that give you population and culture, they're very pretty, but they're 9 days wonders, because you go up 2 chapters and all of a sudden they're obsolete and you've got to get rid of them. So the best place to spend your diamonds, I've always said, are to get extra builders, because then you can do more in your city and you don't have to sit around. If you only have 2 builders, then you can only build 2 things, and it's as slow as watching paint dry. So if you've got some diamonds, buy builders. But I maintain that even before crafting, the Magic Academy makes things like this magical manufacturing spell. If you are short of supplies, it can make your power of provision spells. It can make these ensorcelled endowment spells to prolong your neighborhood visits, which give you more culture bonus. And it makes these wonderful spells that allow you to run 20 knowledge points on your knowledge point bar, not 10. So if you go away for a day, you can still carry on collecting knowledge points. So I use all of those. And now I'm going to have to make these, because I don't know if you noticed while we were looking at those recipes, but you need quite a few of them. Unfortunately, at the time making this video, there weren't any dramatic buildings available. But when the dramatic buildings are available, you could need, anything between 1 and 7 of these spells to do the crafting. So your Magic Academy is going to be under a load, because you want your normal spells that you're using at the moment in your city, and you want to start making these things. So I really recommend that you should just spend the 500 diamonds and upgrade it. That is all I have to say to you. I Can't tell you when, but one of these days we'll be getting crafting, and then we can take all the old junk that we no longer need. There is one thing I want to say. The reason I said they're going to have to look for something else, because one day you're going to have disenchanted all these buildings. Then what you're going to use? Nobody really wants to use the instants. They're too valuable. And we don't want to use our enchantments because we use the damn things, and they're very useful indeed. I mean, this one, for example, every time I throw one of these enchantments, I get mana, because I own this wonder called the Dragon Abbey. So I don't want to get rid of these. So there's going to come a day when I have no more summonings. If my crafting is then going to be any use to me, they're going to have to find something else, and I think that they know this and they're working on it. There you go, that's crafting. A word about us, what it's worth. Elvenar Platinum Leaf is a Facebook group for people who love Elvenar. There's no restriction, anyone can join. You can bring all your friends. A lively discussion with people who know a lot about the game. If you are an expert, you can come and teach us. If you're a beginner, you can come and we'll teach you. It's all about sharing information. We have tons of videos. We have hundreds of tips and files and stuff. Also, I make videos every time there's news like this one. If you want the news, then you just go at the bottom of this page on YouTube, and where it says like, you hit like. Where it says subscribe, you hit subscribe, and then you will be notified when there is a new video. Okay, see you on Facebook. Bye.